Hi and welcome to another budgeting video. Today we're going to be chatting about how much I spent in August and what my plans are for September. As always, I'm going to be budgeting from my two checking accounts. So starting on the variable checking account side, which is basically purchases that I make throughout the month that vary in pricing, so not usually fixed. So starting balance $1,000, salary stayed the same at $3,936, and then I ended up getting $31 in cash back from Rakuten. So available balance for the month was $4,967. Bill stayed the same, so subscriptions $8, electricity $83, and internet $45. So bills ended up costing me $136 this month. Moving on to living. So groceries were $331. I think I had budgeted $350. So it came in under. Gasoline was $89 and I had previously budgeted $75, so a little bit over. And then wellness was $112. So that consists of $93 for PT. So I finished up my PT sessions I think a couple months ago, but the final bill just came in. And then I had a couple of therapy sessions that got billed together. Normally I go to therapy once a month, but it ended up costing me $19, which is nice. And then home, I spent $291 on a mattress. It was functioning fine in terms of mattresses, even though I had it a long time, but because I've been having like issues with my back, thus the PT, I decided to try a new mattress, so that's why that happened. So living cost me $823. So extra event tickets, previously, or at the beginning of the month, I think I spent $302 on opera tickets. And then toiletries, I ended up spending $54, so that includes floss for $11. I bought some feminine wash, like I think I bought 3, and they cost me $22. And then I needed some exfoliating wash rags because my ones that I bought last year were starting to get a little grimy, so I bought another set for $16. And then when I was in Mexico City, I had forgotten like the usual. I usually have these heel bandages that I carry with me to prevent my heels from rubbing because I usually walk so much. And I ended up finishing them like right off the bat, and I thought I would be able to get more there, but they don't have them for some reason. So I ended up just getting regular bandages like multiple times, and that cost me $6. Hair care, $8 for the usual hair detangler that I get every few months. And then I had a bunch of new things that ended up happening throughout the month, as they always do. So I ended up cracking my phone screen like right before I left from Mexico City, and it was right where the face sensor is to like open the phone and like authorize payments, passwords, etc. You know what I'm talking about for the iPhone. So if it wasn't for that, I probably would not have fixed it. I would just left it and like bought a new phone in September when the new iPhones come out. But because I could barely use my phone, I could only open it with a passcode, but then I couldn't like do anything because I couldn't access any of my passwords, which I definitely don't know them. And then it was hard to do payments, etc. So I spent $277 to repair my phone in Mexico City. If I had done it at Apple, it would have cost about $400, so a little bit of a discount there. Parking, I spent $11 on parking. Shoes, I mentioned in my vlog that I had bought some comfort shoes because I walk way more on vacation than I normally do at home, and I needed shoes to accommodate that because when I went on vacation previously actually it was in January of this year, like I ended up irritating like my sciatic nerve, basically that runs from your back down your leg, and that's why I was in PT. So I needed better shoes, so I bought a couple pairs of comfort shoes for $53, and they worked out marvelously in Mexico City. So highly recommend if you have a similar problem, or if you just want your feet to not like ache when you're walking a ton. Another Mexico City related purchase, jewelry. We were like walking around this avenue that had a bunch of shops in Mexico City, but they also had a bunch of jewelry stores, and I love jewelry, so of course I was popping in there. But they had basically this like do-it-yourself jewelry shop where they had like all these like different chains, and then the attachments for them, and then charms, etc. So anyway, I thought that they would put together the things there, but they didn't. So I ended up finding a jeweler that was just hanging out on the side of the street. There's a bunch of like people like selling their wares and a bunch of like artists and stuff in Mexico City, so it was very cool, and he helped me put them together. So I ended up getting a belly chain, effectively. I don't know, I've always wanted one. And they're not that easy to find, surprisingly. I'm sure they're somewhere, I just don't know where they are. So I ended up just having one made like right there. So this is what the chain looks like, actually. And super cute. This is a bunch of random gemstones, and I'm assuming this is like gold. It's like a gold told metal. It's definitely not real gold, or it wouldn't have been so cheap. But yeah, it was really nice because I had a bunch of crop tops in Mexico City. And I don't know, I just felt like getting a belly chain. It was cool. So that cost me $14. Tech accessories. After my phone screen broke, I decided I needed to get a new iPhone case. It hasn't come in yet, but it cost $15 because my current one's a little banged up because I do drop my phone a lot, actually. I guess it's kind of shocking that it's just now cracking. Gifts, I ended up spending $12 on mason jars. Bought like a 12 pack on Amazon, so it's pretty cheap, so that me and my boyfriend can split, because he started doing overnight oats and stuff, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with mine, but you know, they're there. And then restaurants, I spent $38 because my friend usually rents out a lake house every year, and we're on the lake and they have a little restaurant that you can like boat up to, so we ended up getting some dinner and drinks there, which was really nice. So $38. As I mentioned, I usually don't go to restaurants unless it's like some social event, because they usually end up costing tons of money, you know, if you do it like on the regular. So extra $784, and then total spending $1,743. Fixed checking starting balance was $1,833. Salary, or the average of these bills, $646, leaving an available balance of $2,479. Home tax and fees stayed the same, $1,544. Cell phone the same, also $70. So the bills for the month were $1,614, which is a good amount of money, leaving with an end balance of $865. Next month you'll see the end balance is less than this because I had taken out some money from there to invest, and we'll talk a little bit more about what my new investing plan is in the next section of this video. So in terms of percentages, bills, I took about a good amount because of the taxes and fees that I had to pay this month for my house. So 52% for that, living 24%, and then extra similarly at around 23%. So income this month was $4,613, spending $3,357. The breakdown of all of those things is right here. And then the remaining amount is $1,256. Moving on to September, starting balance for this account is going to be $400. Previously, I had set it to about $1,000, but the way how this account works is, though the money goes in there every time I get paid, I usually move the money to a second account with all my extra money, and I use that to pay my credit card bills, because everything in this account, the only thing in this account that gets like debited every month is my Target purchases, because I have a Target debit card and I usually buy groceries at Target. So in theory, it will never be $400 that comes out, because I never spend $400 solely at Target, but that's all that needs to be in the account because it's the only spending that comes from the account, and everything else is purchased through the month on a credit card. So I figured, because this account doesn't garner any interest at all, to just have the bare minimum in there for my Target purchases, and then keep my credit card payments for the month in the credit card savings account. So in the past, you couldn't withdraw all this money from your savings account, like a checking account, but since COVID, they've removed the limit. It used to be like 6 withdrawals per month from savings accounts, but no, it's unlimited. So I use this high yield savings account as a checking account for my credit card payments. So at least when the money's sitting there, I'm getting some interest on it for the month. So salary actually went down this month. Last month I think I had gotten paid extra for some extra work. This month I did not, so 2,555, and by this month, this is always the previous month's salary, so this is actually September's salary, and then August's was July's salary, etc., etc. So total available balance 2,955. Subscriptions cost me $8. Electricity, I do not know what the bill is yet, but I'm going to budget $85. Internet is going to be $45 as usual. So bills are going to be costing me $138 this month. Groceries, as I said, that cost me around $400 a month. Gas, I think I'm gonna bump this up to $85 a month. Wellness, I will need to buy some more Pilates passes. So I usually buy the Pilates passes, like they're 12 at a time, and I've used up my passes through September, so for October I'm gonna need more. So the Pilates passes cost $384. And then I spent about $9 on medication. So total for wellness, $393. Nothing in home. Car maintenance, I think I am due for like an oil change and whatever else they need to do with the dealership. But I think I had waited a little bit on my last oil change. So I think I might have another month or so to go. So I shouldn't have to spend anything there. So living is going to be $878. Extra toiletries are going to be $44. So I have on my Amazon subscribe and save, I have a body serum slated to come September 1st. So normally I usually have some sort of exfoliating body serum, some sort of body oil or lotion, and then some sort of body scrub. Like those are the three things, plus like a body wash. So I use like about 4 things, not all at once, but like rotating from our body. So I needed more of the serum, so that's how much that cost. Packing supplies, I have run out of packaging tape, so that was $14. There's another Amazon subscribe and save purchase, and basically for Amazon subscribe and save, I just move things around that I need for the month. I don't necessarily have everything like on repeat, because I mean, how often does one need packaging tape? Like I think I bought that packaging tape years ago, but because I needed it, I just put it on the subscribe and save so I can get it for this month and then I'll cancel it. So that's a little hack. I'm sure most people don't do that, so that's why Amazon is able to keep the program going like and make money. I mean, they make billions of dollars a year, so my little finagling is not going to affect them, but it makes sense to me. So for extra, it's going to be $58 with a total of the month of $1,074 and an M balance of $1,881. So I forgot to mention that September so far is looking light in terms of spending, and hopefully I can keep it that way. The only other thing that I have going on in September is I mentioned in the vlog that I purchased a ticket to Japan for October. So for September I need to purchase like lodging, and then there are a few things that I want to do, like taking the bullet train and then going to Studio Ghibli for sure, and then I'll see what else I want to do. I haven't fully decided what I want to do. Well, like I'm really doing not the best job of like planning for this trip, because I kind of like just bought the ticket on a whim and I'm like busy with other things. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to make some purchases for Japan, and I have around $2,000 right now in my travel sinking fund, so the money is gonna come from that to pay for it. So it wouldn't be reflected here, but that's the only other spending that I'm anticipating really for September. So hopefully we can keep the spending low here so that I feel like less overwhelmed with the spending for the vacation, because that's usually how I feel. Like when I go on vacation, I'm like, even though sometimes the money is like set aside in the sinking fund, it's still like when I look at I have a separate app, when I look at my overall spending for the month, I'm like, oh my god, I spent like so much money. But it's like, even though it's money already saved for that purpose, it just like is a little overwhelming to see like that monthly total. So yeah. On the fixed checking aside, $219 is remaining in the account, and as I was mentioning, the amount of money that I pay myself for the month, so the income is basically just my income after my sinking accounts fund accounts are funded, and then after my investments are funded. So month to month, the only investment that I invest for is my Roth IRA, and I do whatever the amount is to max that out. So I think it's about $666. And beyond that, I don't usually invest unless I somehow come into extra money. And even then, since I've been part-time, I've just been saving all my extra money in case of emergencies, or to provide a sort of cushion. Not really emergencies because I already have an emergency fund, but just like for peace of mind, because my income is basically half of what it used to be. So now that I've gotten a raise, I have a little bit extra money available. So I thought I would go back to investing some. So my goal was to invest $1,000 a month. So the $666 from the Roth IRA, and then I'm going to invest $417, I think, into whatever one of my brokerage accounts that I feel, or whatever investment that I feel like investing for that month. So because of that, the starting balance is lower than the end balance of last month because I took the money out to invest, and the salary amount here is also lower because now it accounts for the $417 that's going to be invested. So it's a little bit, it makes sense to me, but it might be a little convoluted for you guys, but hopefully you get the gist of what I'm saying. So salary here also changed from last month. It's a little bit lower because the salary is basically the average of these bills here, and my car insurance went down, so I'm very happy about that. So now the salary for this month and months going forward, unless something else changes, $629. Home taxes and fees, $250 is the usual amount, and then cell phone is $70. So the car insurance actually is not going to be due until October, so nothing for this month. But I did get the bill and saw that it went down, which was like marvelous. I don't know why, but I am extremely happy about that because it was like astronomical in my opinion. End balance for this account should be $525. And in summary, so most of September spending is in the living category due to that Pilates purchase. But fortunately for Pilates, I only go there once a week. So whenever I buy the 12-month package, that usually lasts about 3 months, so that's nice at least. Next is bills at 32%, and then extra is only 4%. So income $3,181, spending $1,394 with a breakdown right here, and then a remaining potential balance of $1,787. So guys, that's gonna be it for the budget. Let me know what you guys have been up to, what you've been spending money on, or anything else that you guys want to like catch up on, because I've been trying to be a little bit more present on YouTube, so you know, now I can see what's up with you guys more often. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I will see you in the next video.